Hey, true believers, this is Dr. T and welcome to my comic book channel. Today I'm going to go over finally my 2023 comic book collecting goals. Stay tuned. So I've made another list of comic book collecting goals like I did last year. I liked what I did last year enough where it made me want to do it again in 2023. Some of my big pickups from last year was this Hulk 181 at Baltimore Comic Con, this Giant Size X-Men one from Baltimore Comic Con, and I want to keep that momentum moving forward. So number one on my list for a goal for this year, and these are and/or purchases, a Hulk 181, the first appearance of Wolverine in cameo, and/or X-Men 94, the second appearance of the new X-Men team, third full appearance of Wolverine, and/or Captain America 100. And so those are those would be the most expensive purchases of the year. Likely I would pick those up at a future Comic-Con later this year, or if I can find them in a reasonable price and grade. Most likely the Hulk 180 will be in a 4.5 to 6.5 range. The X-Men 94, same thing, 4.5 to 6.5 range. And the Captain America also a 4.5 to 6.5 range. And then one minor run I want to complete is X-Men 129 through 142. These were the books that I read that my dad owned copies of, that he bought off the rack in 1979 and 80, and I have a number of these books and I want to fill this small run in. So I already have an X-Men 129 in a 9.4 grade. I have an X-Men 130, the first Dazzler, in a 9.4 grade. I need X-Men 131, which I need to get in probably going to end up getting that in a 9.4. 9.6s, there was just an auction in the last week where a 9.6 went for over $400. I believe it was $460. So probably looking at a 9.4, which you can get for just over about $200 unless there's an auction. And I can be patient. Plenty of months left in the year for me to exercise that patience. X-Men 132 in a 9.6 grade is what I'm looking for. Then I have a CBCS copy of X-Men 133, the first Wolverine solo story ever, here in a 9.6. I would like to at some point change this over to a CGC book just to match the others, but this is a very nice looking copy that would likely transfer over to a 9.6 even with CGC. I need to pick up an X-Men 134, the first appearance of Dark Phoenix, hopefully in a 9.6 grade, but 9.4 to 9.6 range for that book. I need to pick up an X-Men 135 in a 9.6 grade and a 136 in a 9.6 grade this year. And then I have a 9.6 of X-Men 137. Always have loved that cover since I was a little kid. And again, my dad has these books raw. He missed the month that they came out with X-Men 138 when Cyclops leaves the team after Jean Grey's death. But I did pick this up a while back. 9.6 grade of 138. 9.6 grade of 139, where Kitty Pryde joins the X-Men. Her first appearance, of course, in X-Men 129. I have this X-Men 140 in a 9.6 grade with off-white to white pages. All the other books are white pages. I wouldn't mind upgrading this to a white pager, but have this. I've had this next book, X-Men 141. I bought this raw probably about 10 years ago at Salt Lake Comic Con. Bought it raw for $80, sent it off to get signed by Stan Lee. It was originally meant to also be signed by Chris Claremont, but that didn't work out a decade ago. So I wouldn't mind actually getting this sent in and signed by Chris Claremont in the next year or two when he does a future signing. But this is a nice copy of X-Men 141. Stanley's signature, not the nicest of his signatures, but there it is nonetheless. And love this book. And then the last of this little X-Men run, Uncanny X-Men, where Uncanny X-Men starts, 142 in a 9.6. So looking to continue to build this run, and then from there to work my way back, because another one of my goals for 2023 is to pick up X-Men 102 in a 9.2 grade. I have never owned a copy of X-Men 102, but I have read the story because I have this, the Essential X-Men trade paperback essentially, but all black and white. So I have read that story, and my dad owned a copy of the classic X-Men version of this story, the reprint of it, but I've always wanted the actual first printing, X-Men 102. And there is a black and white printing of that cover. And of course I have X-Men 101 right there, first appearance of Phoenix in a 7.5 grade. Another tiny run I want to be working on is from the Old Man Logan storyline, starting in Volume 3, Wolverine number 66. I have this sketch variant edition of that book. This is the 1 in 100 sketch variant. And then I also have the first printing of that as well. Yeah, Volume 3, Issue 66, first appearance of Wolverine Old Man Logan. And I want to just complete the set from issue 66 through 72, and I don't have 67, so part of the goal is to get issue 67 in a 9.8. I have issue 68 in a 9.6. This did not cost me very much. I think it was less than $15 when I actually picked up this nice near mint plus graded book, but I would love to upgrade this to a 9.8. That's not going to be necessarily part of the goal for this year, but I'm going to be looking out for that. Issue 69, so I need 67. I have 68 9.6. Issue 69 I have in a 9.6. This cost me like $7.50 a number of years ago, and probably 7-8 years ago I bought this for almost nothing, and so would love to upgrade this for 9.6. Not necessarily one of the goals, but I would love to have all of them in a 9.8. And then I need issue 70. Don't have issue 70. Looking for that. Going to be looking for that in a 9.8. I have issue 71 in a 9.8. Look at Wolverine just beaten to death. Look at that. And then issue 72, this Red Skull in the Captain America mask cover, and to round that out to have those issues. And then I have a Wolverine Old Man Logan giant size number 1 in a 9.6. I will be looking to upgrade this, though, as part of the goals for this year to a 9.8. This is one of my favorite stories ever in comics. Some honorable mentions that I would like to pursue this year. I'm just going to be looking out for them. If something happens, it happens. This, of course, these goals are a guide. I do not feel beholden to doing this, but this just keeps my collecting goals focused, and that to me I found is quite helpful. So other possible books, Power Man 48 in a 9.4 to 9.6 range. This is the first meeting of Power Man and Iron Fist. Power Man and Iron Fist number 50 in a 9.6 grade. This is the start of their run together in their own title. Hulk 182, the third appearance of Wolverine essentially, but this one in cameo as he just appears on the first page. Looking for Captain Carter number 1, the variant cover in a 9.8. Captain America number 25, the first appearance of Sam Wilson as Captain America. All new Captain America number 1. And these are meant to go with my first appearance of Sam Wilson right here as the Falcon. And as a big fan of Sam Wilson as Captain America, and just as his Falcon persona, that of course is the Sam Wilson Captain America shield from the Captain America, or from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus show. I'll also be looking for X-Men 212. Probably the 9.8 is so expensive, but probably in a 9.6, even though I would love to maybe sell some stuff to pick up a 9.8, because I would love to have this book in a 9.8. And then also X-Men 213 in a 9.8. I have a 211 in a 9.8, and I would love to have that trifecta of books with those Wolverine covers. Another honorable mention for a possible pickup this year, DC Comics presents number 47 in a 9.0 to 9.2, the first appearance of He-Man and Skeletor in comics. Would love to get a hold of one of those. And this just gives you idea of the books that I'm looking for in 2023, true believers. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, remember, comics for life.